If you want to live, you'll tell me everything. What the hell?
In the previous episode, we covered episodes 1 to 6 of Darwin's Game. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out before you start this one. With Kaname becoming familiarized with D-Game, he finds himself in the middle of a treasure hunt event. Although he was doing fine, making new allies during this event, when he learns of Shuka's current situation, he is forced to act. Will Kaname be able to save all of his companions and emerge victorious in the game, or will he suffer an unforgettable ending? Let's find out. Episode 6, Ryuji, the Gunner, attempts to find the child hiding but is unsure of their exact location. Ryuji tells the child if they don't come out, they are dead meat. We learn that the child has a twin, one of them being male, the other female. Ryuji approaches attempting to find them but is caught off guard by the children's sigil. The kid comes up with an idea, knowing if they bait him into a place with water, they can get him. Ryuji overhears a phone ringing, so he decides to investigate. Ryuji finds the child's phone but not the kid, causing him to be surprised and attacked by the child. The child surrounds his body in ice, immobilizing him, but is unable to finish the attack. Kaname, on the other hand, is still attempting to find Shuka, knowing she is somewhere in the subway. Kaname finally finds Shuka, but is unsure if he made it in time, her being unconscious. He notices she still has a pulse but isn't breathing, so he has to think fast on how to save Shuka. He stares at her lips and considers CPR, knowing it's his last resort. Shuka eventually awakes thanks to Kaname's efforts, and she thanks him. Shuka gives Kaname a kiss, as thanks for saving her from drowning. Kaname tells Shuka they need to hurry out of the subway station and head back to their base. Shuka becomes a little jealous that Kaname has other teammates, but she agrees to follow him. Kaname, having asked why Shuka is participating in Darwin's Game, finally gets an answer when she explains it. She tells Kaname she plays Darwin's Game in hopes of enacting revenge against the people who killed her parents. She tells him she plays the game to hopefully meet the designers of the game so that she can kill them. The two of them continue to swim around the subway, looking for an exit until they encounter a roadblock. Kaname summons some chains, hoping to assist Shuka in breaking them out. Before we continue, let's take a moment to answer the question of the day. Would you have risked your life to save your lover like Kaname did? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out in the next video. Now, back to the recap. Wang, on the other hand, has his goons doing whatever they want. With an unfortunate player encountering his group, they show no mercy. Throwing a grenade, Wang, much like Rain, has discovered the hidden barcode with the numbers on each of the bracelets. Wang reveals he has 30 people under him, and he begins his march to the hotel where Kaname's team is located. Having saved Ryuji, Kaname awaits as Shuka demands an apology from the young girl. The girl tells Shuka she doesn't want to kill anyone and just wants to get through the event. Shuka almost kills the girl but spares her for bringing her and Kaname closer. Ryuji tells Kaname he should be careful dating such a dangerous girl. Shuka tells Kaname they need to go and change, their clothes being soaked, but the girl proposes to dry them off with her sigil. Having full control of water, she is able to remove all the drops sticking to their clothes. She reveals her brother resides inside of her despite already passing away. Shuka, feeling bad for the child, offers her to join their clan and team up with them. Everyone agrees that the girl, Sui, would be a good addition to their team. Ryuji reveals that he is only in the team so that he can hunt down Wang's team. After a nearby explosion, they decide not to rush out of the building they are currently in. Kaname receives a message from Rain, giving him information on the true intentions behind the game. Rain talks to the florist, asking if they stand a chance against Wang's team of 20. The florist tells Rain to pass his message on to Kaname, telling her he will stay and fight all of the grunts. The florist reveals he has a child around Rain's age, showing a motive for him wanting to take the fall. Wang's grunts walk further into the hotel, eventually arriving at the elevators. Episode 7. Before the florist began his attack, he talked with Rain, who gave him the calculations of his success. She tells him other than Wang, there are 2 members he needs to watch out for. Keiichi, a melee fighter with a strong sigil, although it is known the sigil is close in resemblance to telekinesis. Ryan reveals the other enemy he needs to watch out for is Sig, a pyrokinesis sigil user. Ryan, on the other hand, is searching for the diamond ring. She encounters Wing surrounded by multiple members, causing her unable to search for the diamond ring. Although Kaname and his group are doing fine, a random group seems to be struggling. Being encountered by a fierce player, all of them are knocked out before they can even retaliate. They finish up defeating the small group and take notice of the fighting going on at the hotel. Sig and the florist engage in combat, Sig currently having the upper hand. The florist struggles to deal damage to Sig, him being able to simply burn all of the florist's vines with his sigil. As if Sig wasn't enough, the other grunt Keiichi comes knocking the florist into Sig. Sig finishes off the florist and decides they need to begin searching for the rings. The florist, despite receiving a fatal injury, has enough energy to launch a counterattack, giving him time to escape. The florist tells us death is near, him only being alive thanks to his sigil. The florist is eventually approached by the 2 grunts, but are stunned to learn of the florist's plans. As a last attack, the florist reveals he is demolishing the entire building and tells Sig and Keiichi they are done for. Sig attempts to threaten the florist with his fire, but he has already passed on. The florist talks to his daughter for one last time, giving her flowers and praying for her recovery. While his daughter lays in bed in peace, all of Wang's minions are running around frantically dodging the incoming rubble. Rain attempts to sneak past some grunts but is approached by more coming her way. The 2 of them talk about their plan for the game, spilling their plan to Rain. One of the men uses his sigil to sniff out Rain, and she becomes cornered. In the nick of time, Rain jumps across the train tracks and beats the incoming train. She uses her sigil to calculate an escape route, but is stopped in her tracks by Wang. Wang proposes to her that he'll spare her if she tells him everything she knows regarding the hidden treasure. Wang protests for her to hand over her rings and information, but she doesn't fold. Wang ends up breaking one of her arms in an attempt to get her to spill her information. Rain attempts to reason with Wang, but he only tightens his grasp. She compares Wang to a bug, saying he's not anything special, simply the strongest. Before Wang is able to further harm Rain, Kaname and Shuka come to the rescue. Kaname tells Wang they can reason with each other or they can all die by their hands. Kaname tells Wang he holds important information and it would be in the best interest for them to work together. Wang laughs at the idea of a truce and tells his men to be ready for battle. The groups begin firing, both having stormtrooper aim. No one gets hit. Shuka takes the initiative and kills a man holding a grenade, causing him to blow his teammate up. Shuka breaks all of the fire extinguisher things, causing water to spread throughout the station. Sui lets her brother take control of her body, him being the master of ice, freezes the water, and pierces Wang's subordinates. Wang continues to fight, not noticing a majority of his minions fall to Kaname's team. Rain apologizes to Kaname for being so useless, but he tells her she is the only one who can solve the code. Ryuji continues to fire at Wang, but is unable to hit him thanks to his teleportation. He calculates that as long as he gains distance from Wang, he should be able to safely avoid his grasp. Ryuji is then shot by more grunts, but somehow takes no damage. After killing the randos, Ryuji is attacked by Wang, who takes one of his arms. While everyone is fighting, Rayan sits in a corner hoping to crack the truth behind the event. She uses her sigil to go deep within her mind, calculating any possible outcome. After arriving at the deepest part of her memory, she calculates the answer and figures out the truth behind the event. Wang decides to make an example out of Ryuji by torturing him in front of his companions. Right before Wang is able to decapitate Ryuji, Kaname approaches telling him to stop what he's doing. Ryuji realizes that Kaname has a plan, noticing he lied to them about giving up. Kaname tells Wang and his group that he has already acquired the hidden treasure, pulling out a key. Episode 8. Kaname reveals he's bluffing and has no idea what he'll do if Wang doesn't buy his bluff. Ryuji tells us that Wang was the one who killed his little brother for no reason, showing he's not someone to reason with. Wang tells Kaname that the way he operates is take and take, but says he will make an exception for Kaname. Kaname summons a weapon and points it at the key, attempting to get Wang to fold. Wang asks him how he can authenticate the key, to which Kaname explains it to him. He makes up some story regarding the numbers on the diamond ring, explaining the key unlocks a safety deposit in a bank. Wang attempts to calculate the chances that the key is real and decides he can't risk missing out on the potential of the treasure. Wang tells Kaname although he will let him go, Ryuji won't be so lucky. Ryuji is able to use his sigil to tell every truth from Lee's, giving him the knowledge of Kaname's plans. Kaname throws the key at Wang, distracting him from Kaname's real plan. Kaname enters a code into the lockbox, making us wonder what he is planning. Ian goes over some random numbers and a bunch of history facts, hoping to make it seem more tense. Kaname reveals to Wang that the key he threw holds the key to his scooter. With Kaname ending the game by achieving the hidden treasure, Wang and the others are forced to stop their fighting. The announcer proclaims Kaname's victory to the secret society, and they all decide to keep a close eye on him from now on. Kaname sits down, relaxed, and the game is finally over, eventually opening the box within the locker. Inside of this is a phone which rings once he opens the box. The man on the other line reveals himself as the Game Master and awards Kaname for his valiant efforts. Kaname yells at him, having put himself and his friends in an eternal death battle. The Game Master tells Kaname that he will give him a chance to become stronger if he would just shut up. He tells Kaname he will firstly give him 10,000 points, but that's not the real prize. The Game Master tells Kaname he will grant any wish within his possibilities. Kaname asks to quit the game, but is refused, so the Game Master gives him some examples of what he can do. One being granting access to a past player into the secret society, another being a full-fledged company. He tells Kaname there are 2 ways to quit Darwin's game, one method clearing the game. Kaname asks what the other way to quit Darwin's game is, and the Game Master tells him the other method is by killing him. Kaname ponders his options, trying to decide what would benefit the most. Kaname tells the Game Master what he wants, but it isn't revealed to us. He tells Kaname he will also give him a new sigil, Fire God of Steel. The Game Master teleports Kaname out of Shibuya, having granted his wish. Reported on the news is the aftermath of the death game. With no one knowing what happened, the common people are left with tons of questions about how a city was destroyed overnight. A random classmate of Kaname's sits in the classroom spam, texting Kaname, asking when he'll come back to school. Shuka then tells a story of the 3 pigs and the wolf, her story ending with a sad ending. Sui tells Shuka that the ending of the 3 pigs story ends with one of the pigs being happy after their hard work. Shuka reveals that because their clan is increasing in members, she needs to purchase a house. Shuka looks at buildings nearby, seeing which one would be best to purchase. Although she knows they need a building, Shuka still hasn't decided where they will locate their base. The florist's daughter is approached by a man named Hideaki, claiming he is from an insurance company. He tells her that he has come to pay the money passed on by her father. Rain appears outside, thanking the man for passing along the check to her. Hideaki asks if he is allowed to meet Kaname, knowing she has a good relationship with him. Rain refuses his request and he leaves, allowing Rain and the florist's daughter to converse. The girl tells Rain that the man who dropped off the check seems suspicious and asks if she thinks the check is real. Rain tells her the money is real and hands her a business card, telling her if she wishes to learn the truth about her father, she needs to contact her. Ryuki, on the other hand, arrives back to his base and receives treatment for his injury by a fellow player. He walks with the players as they show him around their base, revealing their clan has 26 players. Ryuji asks why they all started playing D-game in the first place, and the man tells him they wish to be the strongest. With a martial artist always striving to be stronger, Joining the D-game is the only way to increase their power. As they look through the gym, they encounter Konami, working out. Konami reveals his plan, wanting an alliance with the dojo. The leader of the clan asks Konami to fight him and prove his strength if they want to form an alliance. Konami's friend, who was texting him earlier, decides to head to his house and see if he can locate us. To his surprise, a member of Wang's clan emerges from the door with a devious look in his eyes. Episode 9, Konami readies himself for the fight with the dojo leader, hoping to bring him into his alliance. He tells Konami anything goes, but he will personally not use any weapons. With 10 minutes to drop, the other Konami uses his sigil to give him the advantage. After summoning a gun, the dojo master closes the distance and knocks Konami back. Rein arrives to watch the fight, having just finished with the insurance guy. Konami summons in a grenade and questions how much damage the dojo master can withstand. During the fight, the dojo master notices how well Konami is able to dodge and avoid attacks. Rein observes Konami's new gun, taking notice of him, recently adding more weapons and guns to his arsenal as of late. While others watch, Konami continues to spray his gun. During the fight, it's revealed the dojo master is 4th ranked overall for Darwin's game. Konami notices that the dojo master is still yet to reveal his sigil, knowing he still has a trump card. The dojo master throws a plate towards Konami and takes the chance to jump onto him. Konami summons a flash grenade, distracting the dojo master, which gives him time to get up and counter-strike. He points his 2 new guns towards the dojo master, but is interrupted by an intruder. The masked player is revealed as Liu and also the number 1 D-game player. Ryuji arrives back home and tells Shuka of the current situation. Liu took Konami with her, leaving the rest of the members in the dark. When they all talk of how to beat her, Rein reveals her attack isn't a sigil. Although she can summon energy blades striking fear into anyone who observes them, it isn't her main attack. Shuka tells the others that she has already found Konami's location, having a tracker attached to him. While everyone searches for him frantically, Konami talks to Liu. Upon talking to Liu, Konami learns that she is a hitwoman from a family of assassins. Konami asks what she wants from him, not having explained the reason for his kidnapping. Liu tells Konami that she wants him to work for her, offering him the chance of a lifetime. Konami tells her he doesn't want to kill people, and she tells him that's not why she wants to recruit him. She tells him she doesn't want him for his sigil, but rather for his mindset. Having observed his fights during the event, she has learned that Konami has a strong mind and enjoys fighting strong enemies. Liu attempts to seal the deal by seducing him, but is interrupted by her driver. The driver alerts Liu that there is a purser on their tail, and she tells him to lose them. Shuka and the others come in hot pursuit of Konami, hoping to rescue him from Liu's grasp. Liu tells Konami to call off his reinforcements, so he acts like he will, but tells them to smash into the car if needed. Konami compliments Liu, but shows his resolve by telling her he won't take orders from someone else. He proposes a deal to her, escape from his clan unharmed without killing anyone, and he'll join her. Konami's clan continues to chase after Liu and announces themselves as the Sunset Ravens. Rain questions why that name, but she gets a bunch of random answers from the clan. Shuka boards the roof of the car, and Liu decides to do the same, facing her. Liu, sure of herself, urges Shuka to leave and uses her mysterious power to enact fear into Shuka. To her surprise, however, Shuka continues to strike her, forcing Liu to pull out her sword. Shuka notices that if Liu didn't have her swords, she would be powerless, so she aims for them. During this, Rain fires towards the number 1 ranked player, Liu, making her step back. Liu pulls out her secret weapon, finger balls. These finger balls move faster than Rain or Shuka can see. This leads to Liu thinking she has them cornered, so tells them to surrender. Konami interrupts their moment by pulling out some bottles of wine. Konami throws them, Shuka moves them near the tire, and Rui freezes them, destroying the tire. The car becomes immobilized, and Konami exits, telling Liu to surrender. Liu decides not to back down, telling him she can still kill them all any moment. Before Liu can pursue this any further, her driver comes out and tells her to withhold the promise she made to Konami. Liu admits her defeat, and the game announces Sunset Raven as the victor. Konami announces his victory to his members, it being a win, defeating the #1 ranked player. Liu proposes a compromise to Konami, asking to join his clan. All of the members of Sunset Raven tell Konami not to let her in, knowing she could betray them any moment. Konami tells Liu she has to promise one thing if she wants to join. He tells her if she betrays them to betray him first and not take it out on the other members. Episode 10. Konami punches the wall after he finds out that Wang has kidnapped his childhood friend Shinozuka. He eventually calms down and decides to plan out their attack on Wang's clan. Ryuji reassures Konami that they are stronger in terms of numbers and strength. Konami knows it might be a tough battle, but he tells his clan they have to save Shinozuka. Rain calls Shuka asking how her side of the plan is going. Shuka tells the clan that the police are outside of Wang's base. Konami calls the police cannon fodder, saying they won't be able to take down Wang. Despite having the power to wipe out all the cops, Wang decides they need to relocate. One of Wang's minions alerts him that the police are cutting through the back of the warehouse, so he goes and kills all the cops over there. Shuka drops a phone through the ceiling to Shinozuka and informs him of their plan. Konami tells Shinozuka if he wants his help, then he has to click the link to join Darwin's game. With his fingers busted, Shikozuka struggles to download the game, ending the call in the process. Shinozuka is determined and doesn't give up easily, so he uses his tongue to become a player himself. Wang, on the other hand, doesn't want to waste his time with killing Shinozuka, so he sends his grunt to do the dirty work. To the grunt's surprise, Shinozuka uses a sigil, blocking the incoming bullet. Having become a player himself, Shinozuka receives incoming help from the Sunset Ravens. As they are charging into his rescue, Shinozuka practices his newfound power. He uses it to swat multiple grunts to the side, eventually drawing the attention of Wang. Wang becomes excited knowing that Shinozuka didn't become a player himself when he calls out to Kaname. Shinozuka, however, doesn't back down and he prepares his attack on Wang. While the others are fighting, the dojo master's apprentice begins his fight with Wang's right-hand man. The two exchange words for a brief moment, but realize words aren't enough. The two of them begin to fight each other, each recognizing the other's strength. The two of them taunt each other, eventually deciding they will get serious about the fight. Rain asks Sui if she has mentally prepared herself for the war, and tells her to start her part of the plan. Rain moves away and tells her to begin moving the water around the grunts. She switches with her brother and freezes them, ending that fight. Konami finally finds himself inside of the warehouse and is welcomed by Wang. Konami tells him to give his friend back or else, but Wang doesn't show the slightest fear. Wang tells Konami he has already sent Shinozuka his way, telling him to turn around. Konami turns around and sees a blood-soaked box, making him realize he arrived too late. Wang tells Konami it's his fault for trying to trick him during the event. Konami takes Wang's words to heart, bringing him to tears. Then Konami sees a butterfly fly above the body, making him remember the same one appearing for his other fallen comrades, confirming Shinozuka's death. Episode 11. After recognizing the situation he's in, Konami summons a gun, hitting one of Wang's grunts in the face. Konami tells his companions that he failed as a leader and blames himself for Shinozuka's death. Konami tells them that he hasn't killed anyone and didn't want to, but upon finding out what they've done, it changed. He tells them because he brought outsiders into their fight, he will show no mercy. He tells Ryuji he needs some help taking out the trash, referring to Wang's group. Wang, stunned from Konami's aim, tells his guards to hurry up and kill him already. Wang attempts to take Konami out by teleporting behind him, but he is pierced by Shuka. Wang continues to follow Shuka, telling Konami he will slaughter every one of them. He tells Shuka he will deliver his special Wombo Combo attack. Konami and Ryuji, still inside the base, are approached by more grunts. To Konami, a grunt is nothing more than a pebble in the way. One of Wang's subordinates recognizes how strong Konami is, having killed a majority of them instantly. Having finished off all the grunts, Kaname and Ryuji decide to go help Shuka with her fight. Wang tells Shuka once he captures her, he will cut her apart limb by limb. Shuka tells Wang that he shouldn't have even been born, knowing how much of a monster Wang is. Wang tells Shuka once he loses to her, she will be the defeated, twice queen. Shuka tells Wang of her love towards Kaname, saying he's not strong enough to defeat her. As Wang approaches, his leg is cut off by Shuka, making him fall to the ground. Shuka asks Wang if he accidentally chopped his leg off using his teleportation powers. Wang decides to get serious, teleporting behind Shuka, but is met by another unexpected attack. Shuka slices Wang's arm off, leaving him pouting on the ground like a baby. Wang, still not sure how Shuka is landing these attacks, decides to proceed with caution going forward. Shuka reveals the true nature of her ability, having the ability to control any thread-like item to her will. Manipulating the wires to tie Wang up like a spider, he pleads for Shuka to release him. Wang decides to finally use his ace, knowing he has no other option. Wang uses his attack thinking he surprised Shuka, but to his surprise, she notices his attack. Instead of just dodging, Shuka decides to chop off another limb, making Wang even more powerless. Wang, with no other options, yells for the Game Master to save him, calling Shuka's ability unfair. Wang claims to be the main character of the series, but realizes that his story will end soon. He crawls away, begging to be spared, but Shuka shows no mercy, throwing him into the air. As Wang is falling, he realizes he can use his ability to stop the fall, preserving his life. He saves himself, but the second he does, Kaname appears telling him his time is up. Wang tells Kaname he will give him all his points, but Kaname isn't satisfied. Kaname tells Wang that it's not enough, alerting him he wants everything Wang has. Kaname reveals the power given to him by the Game Master, allowing him to duplicate his points in clan battles. Wang remembers all of his feats within Darwin's game, assuring himself he was the main character. Wang recognizes Kaname as the new king and tells him that eventually someone will take him down. Kaname, however, shoots him multiple times, ending the battle. Being crowned the new King, Kaname decides the new goal of the Sunset Ravens is to overthrow the Game Master, clearing the game. Shuka approaches Kaname and asks him to promise her he won't die before her. She tells Kaname she doesn't want to lose any more family. Kaname promises her that he will continue to survive and lead their clan towards victory. Ryuji tells Kaname that he will follow him to the end as a way to thank Kaname for getting his revenge. The clan proclaims themselves as a family, promising each other to always have their backs. Introduced is a character named Oboro, who overlooks Kaname's victory over Wang. He receives a call from the Game Master asking if he has time to talk. The Game Master tells Oboro there has been a major twist in the game regarding Kaname. The Game Master tells Oboro despite giving Wang a good sigil and helping him along his journey, Kaname still emerged victorious. The Game Master tells Oboro to prepare for the next event, saying it won't be as easy as the last. Following Kaname's victory over Wang's clan, the Sunset Ravens continue to take over, causing multiple players to have a game over. The season ends with Kaname taking all of the points of clans and telling their only survival to spread a message. He declares anyone who uses their powers within Sunset Raven's territory has to face repercussions.